My sister's husband falsely framed me for seduction. When she overheard his confession of fabricating texts and photos, he faced explosive fallout. My own niece, a sweet 7-year-old, called me a whore and hit me across the face, all because my sister's husband had meticulously crafted a web of lies to destroy my life. But what he didn't know was that his arrogant victory would become the very weapon I used to utterly shatter his world. It all started at my parents' backyard barbecue. I was just reaching for a burger from the grill when Sophie, my niece, came up to me and hit me across the face. My ear was ringing. I stumbled back, grabbing the picnic table to keep from falling. Sophie scowled at me, and with that innocent yet venomous voice of a child, she said, "Mommy says you deserve it because you're a whore." The air left my lungs. My cousin yelled, "What the hell?" My mom dropped her lemonade, shattering the glass on the patio. Everyone stared, first at Sophie, then at me. A 7-year-old had just branded me in front of my entire family, and I had no idea why. My voice trembled as I murmured to Sophie, "Why are you saying that to me?" She didn't respond, just looked at me with this petulant smile, arms crossed. Then my sister Emma and her husband Ryan stormed across the yard. Emma, the dramatic one, usually slammed doors or yelled, while I just sat quietly. But this was different. This level of hatred on her face, I'd never seen it before. She looked at me like I was rotten trash. "Get away from my daughter!" Emma snatched Sophie, pulling her behind her back. "Emma, what is happening right now? What did I do?" I pleaded. My dad tried to intervene. "Girls, let's take this inside and talk calmly." But Emma wasn't listening. She was absolutely intent on destroying me. "You know exactly what you did," she spat. "My birthday party last month. You waited until I was blowing out my candles, and then you followed my husband into the kitchen." "Not true," I said immediately. "Shut up," Emma screamed. "You pressed yourself against him. You whispered in his ear that you wanted him. You tried to shove your tongue down his throat, and when he pushed you off, you grabbed his belt and told him I would never have to know." Behind me, I heard my mother gasp, "Oh my God, Megan." A swarm of family members muttered, watching my life unravel. "None of that happened," I insisted, tears stinging my eyes. "Emma, I swear to you, none of that happened." "So, my husband is a liar," she challenged. "Is that what you're saying right now? That Ryan just made all of this up for fun?" Ryan stepped closer, placing a hand on Emma's shoulder. "Babe, don't hurt yourself," he murmured, his voice dripping with faux concern. "She won't admit it." "No," Emma said. Ryan stood behind her, mouth rigid, gaze fixed on the ground, playing the part of the traumatized victim. I want to hear her say it. I want to hear her stand there and call my husband a liar to his face. He slowly shook his head, looking utterly heartbroken. He acted like he was talking about something that definitely happened. My voice cracked. "Ryan is lying," I said. "I would never do that to my sister, Emma. I've never even thought about Ryan in that way. Don't mention his name." Emma roared. "The texts, Megan. The pictures you've been sending him for months, begging him to meet up with you behind my back. When he kept saying no, you cornered him at my party and tried to force yourself on him. He showed me everything." "What texts?" I couldn't stop crying now. "What pictures, Emma? There are no texts. There are no pictures. None of this ever happened." "I saw them with my own eyes, Megan," Emma countered, her voice unwavering. "I saw what you wrote to him. I saw what you sent him. So don't stand there and lie to my face." I felt like I was going crazy. There were no texts, no pictures. Ryan had never received anything from me. "Emma, please. Ryan is the one who came on to me that night." I cried. He followed me into the kitchen and put his hands on my waist. He said you didn't appreciate him. I shoved him off and told him I would tell you everything. And he grabbed my wrist and said, "No one would ever believe me." Ryan's eyes welled up with tears as he sighed deeply. "This is exactly what I was afraid of, babe," he said, pulling Emma into his embrace. "Emma, I told you she would flip everything around. I told you she would try to make me the bad guy. I didn't want to say anything because I knew it would tear your family apart, but I couldn't keep lying to you anymore." Emma and my mother were sobbing. My life was deteriorating from the center out. I screamed out, "Mom!" I turned to see her behind the broken glass. "Mom, please! You know me. You know I would never do something like this." But the disapproval in her eyes hit me in my heart like a physical blow. "I think you need to leave, Megan," she said quietly. I tried to approach Dad, but he was already heading toward the house, his back turned, suspicious. I stood there, surrounded by my family, people who should have loved me unconditionally, and not a single one would even look at me. Then I saw him, Ryan. As Emma buried her face in his chest, he caught my eye. And then, swiftly, quietly, he winked. He let me know he had won. But he hadn't. Oh, he absolutely had not. He thought he won because he had lied first. He had no idea what was coming. His present level of confidence, that was going to lead to his absolute doom. He'd destroy his own story, with his own words, before the end of the week. My hands were trembling so violently I had to stop twice on the way home. I wept in a grocery store parking lot, just crying my eyes out. That night, Emma's birthday, flashed back to me with sickening clarity. It was her big party, rented out the back room of her favorite Italian restaurant. I wore green because Emma always said it was my color, and I wanted to look good for her. Ryan greeted me right away when I walked in, said I was beautiful and kissed my cheek. My brothers-in-law often did that, so I said thank you without thinking. It didn't mean anything, but then I noticed him looking at me across the room, not at my face but lower. His stare made me feel vulnerable, even though I'd done nothing wrong. I tugged at the collar of my dress. "That dress is doing things to me, Megan," Ryan whispered later. I chuckled uncomfortably and walked away to talk to my cousin as Emma went to the restroom. I told myself I misheard him. I told myself he was just being weird and charming because he'd had too much to drink. The alternative was too terrifying, so I told myself a lot of things that night. After dinner, everyone moved to the main room for dessert. Emma stood at the head of the table, eyes closed, hands clasped, making a wish. I saw her happy, so lucky to have found love, and wished I would too. My head was starting to hurt from the champagne, so I slipped into the kitchen for some water. I stood at the sink, pouring a glass, pressing the cold rim against my forehead. Then footsteps behind me. I turned. Ryan standing in the doorway. His usual grin was gone. He looked at me with a different expression. Hungry. There's just one word for it. He looked starved. "There you are," he said. "I've been trying to get you alone all night." I laughed, a nervous, breathy sound. "What are you talking about?" "Come on, Megan." He pushed off the doorframe and walked toward me. "Don't play dumb with me. I see the way you look at me when you think nobody's watching. I see the way you dress when you know I'll be around. That green dress tonight, that was for me, wasn't it?" I backed up until my hips hit the edge of the sink. The counter was frigid, despite my light dress. This couldn't be happening. This had to be a joke. "Ryan, whatever you're thinking, you should stop right now." He kept coming until he was inches from me. I could smell champagne on his breath, see his pupils dilated in the dim kitchen light. Then he grabbed my waist. His fingers brushed my hips through my dress, and I froze, my brain unable to process it fast enough to react. "Emma doesn't appreciate me," he said, his lips almost brushing my ear. "She doesn't look at me the same way that you do. Megan, we could be awesome together. Just once. She doesn't need to know." I shoved him. Hard. He lurched backward, almost collapsing. "Get off me!" I yelled, loud enough to startle someone nearby, but not loud enough for the whole room to hear. "What is wrong with you? Emma is my sister. I would never do that to her." His charm vanished. Ryan's face turned sour, jaw clenched, eyes frozen. He scared me for a second. "You're making a mistake," he whispered. "I was trying to be pleasant about it. I was giving you an opportunity. But if you want to play that way, that's okay." The way he fixed his shirt and looked at me made my skin crawl. "Just so you know, Megan, if you tell Emma about this chat, I'll tell her you came on to me, that you've been messaging me for months, and you flung yourself at me tonight, and I turned you down because I love my wife. She'll believe me. I'm her husband, and you're her jealous, single sister who has never had a boyfriend. So she'll believe me." I gasped. "You're insane. I'm going to tell her everything." As I tried to flee, he grabbed my wrist. He squeezed so hard I gasped. "No," he said in a menacingly cold tone. "You're not. Because if you do, I will destroy you. I will turn your whole family against you. Your mom, your dad, your cousins, everyone. By the time I'm done, they'll all think you're the whore who tried to break up your sister's marriage. Is that what you want, Megan? Is that the hill you want to die on?" I tore my arm free and ran. His fingers left red lines on my wrist. I almost told Emma everything when I saw her in the main room, surrounded by family, singing "Happy Birthday." I almost grabbed her arm, pulled her aside, showed her my wrist marks, begged her to trust me. But Ryan followed me out of the kitchen, standing across the room, giving me "I dare you look." I was terrified. He said everything in a way that sounded so bad, so scary. She would trust her husband over her unmarried sister. My parents would trust their loyal son-in-law more than their daughter, with whom they'd never been compatible. Because Ryan was charming and affluent, and I was just Megan, everyone would side with him. I hugged my sister, wished her a happy birthday, and went home. I said nothing. I figured keeping away from him would be best. I figured skipping family gatherings would make him forget, allow us to move on, pretend it never happened. Ryan did not forget. Ryan stayed. While I remained mute to save the peace, he lied to Emma about texts and pictures that did not exist. He was arguing his case against me in whispers. He was becoming the victim, and I was the villain. It was too late when I uncovered his hidden activities. He had won, or he believed he had. Sitting in that grocery store parking lot, weeping, I realized my worst mistake, letting him have time. I let him poison my family against me for a month, while I sat silently, hoping it would just go away. I handed him the knife he used to stab me in the back because I wanted to avoid conflict. Ryan constantly underestimates the people he damages. He thought I was broken. He expected me to disappear. He had no idea what I could achieve without fear. I needed to know how deep the harm was. I called my mother. On the fourth ring, she answered. "Megan." I'd never heard her voice so cold. Not angry exactly. Worse. Disappointment. "I don't think we should be talking right now." "Please, Mom," I implored. "Just let me explain. Everything Emma said at the barbecue was a lie. Ryan made it all up. He's the one who came on to me at the party. And when I rejected him, he threatened to turn everyone against me." Silence. I heard her breathing. A calm television played in the background. I pictured her sitting on the living room couch, where I first learned to walk, unwrapped Christmas presents, where I cried on her shoulder after my first boyfriend broke my heart. My mother finally spoke, her tone low and heavy. "Ryan showed Emma the text messages. He showed her the pictures you sent him. I saw them, Megan. I saw them with my own eyes. It broke my heart." "What? The texts, the pictures?" "I saw what you wrote to him. I saw what you sent him. Emma showed me on her phone." I clenched my steering wheel. "Mom, there are no texts. There are no pictures. I have never sent Ryan anything in my entire life. Whatever he showed Emma was fake. He made it up. He fabricated evidence, because he knew nobody would believe me otherwise." My mother sighed heavily. "Megan, honey, I want to believe you. I do. But I saw those messages. The things you wrote were so explicit, so desperate. I didn't even know you were capable of that kind of language." "Because I'm not," I said, sobbing again. "Because I hadn't written them. Mom, please, you have to listen to me. Ryan is lying. He created fake texts to make himself look like the victim. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And you're all falling for it. My mother responded, "Why would he do that? Why would Ryan go through all that trouble? What would he have to gain from framing you?" "Because I rejected him." I said, "Because he tried to kiss me in the kitchen at Emma's party, and I shoved him away and told him I was going to tell her. He threatened me, Mom. He grabbed my wrist and squeezed it so hard there were marks. He told me if I said anything, he would destroy me." Another extended pause. My mother spoke again, her voice tired. "I don't know what to believe anymore, Megan. I really don't. But I do know that Ryan has always been good to your sister. He's always been good to this family. And those messages I saw looked very real. The timestamps, the phone number, everything matched up." "Then let me show you my phone," I implored. "Let me come over right now and show you my actual texts. You can look through everything. You can see that I never sent him anything. Please, Mom. Please, just give me a chance to prove it." I heard my mother stir on the couch. "I can't do that," she whimpered. "Emma made me promise not to have any contact with you until you admit what you did and apologize. And honestly, Megan, after everything I saw, I think she's right. I think you need to take some time to think about what you've done." She hung up before I could finish. Sitting there, staring at my phone, I felt as if the ground had swallowed me whole. Ryan didn't just lie. He provided proof. He established a parallel universe with forged words and images that duped my mother. I tried contacting Dad, but he stayed mute, responding with, "Give your sister some space," hours after receiving my text. The cousin who yelled, "What the hell?" at the barbecue? My call to him went to voicemail. 3 days passed without a response. I sat at my workstation, looking at my computer screen but seeing nothing. I cooked, I watched television. I didn't dine at home. I checked my phone every 5 minutes, hoping someone would answer, and believe me, but all I got were garbage emails and app updates. On the 4th day, I left my apartment to get food since I'd run out of everything and couldn't justify starving myself. While walking to my car, I noticed Ryan's SUV parked across the street, him in the driver's seat, observing my building. When he realized I'd seen him, he grinned and waved, as if we were old friends who had crossed paths by happenstance. He stepped out of his car and approached me. Every instinct in my body urged me to run, lock my car, and go. But I was so fatigued, enraged, and utterly sick of this man that I simply stood on the sidewalk and watched him approach. "Hey, Megan," he began, pausing a few feet away. He was still grinning, hands in his pockets, the charming smile that had deceived my family. "How are you holding up?" "What do you want, Ryan?" He tilted his head, feigning worry. "I just wanted to check in on you. Make sure you're doing okay. I know this whole situation has been really hard, and I feel bad about how everything went down." I stared at him. "You feel bad?" "I do. I never wanted things to get this ugly. I was hoping you would just let it go and we could all move on. But you had to threaten me. You had to make me feel like a criminal for finding you attractive. So, what happened after that is kind of on you when you think about it. The bravado, the shamelessness of this man, standing in front of me, accusing me of his actions. Those texts are fake," I said. "Those pictures are fake. You know they're fake because you made them. You fabricated evidence to destroy my life because your ego couldn't handle being rejected." Ryan's smile lingered. "See, that's the thing, Megan. It doesn't really matter what I know. It only matters what everyone else believes. And right now, everyone believes that you're a desperate woman who tried to steal her sister's husband. Your mom believes it. Your dad believes it. Emma definitely believes it. And nothing you say is going to change that because I was very thorough." He took a step closer and I didn't back away. "You should have just kept quiet," he said. "That night in the kitchen, you should have just kept your mouth shut and none of this would have happened. But you had to threaten me. You had to act like I was some kind of predator for wanting you. So now you get to live with the consequences." He brushed my face with a finger. I slammed his palm away so hard the smack echoed between the buildings. Don't touch me. Ryan let out a soft laugh. There's that fire. I always liked that about you, Megan. Emma just goes along with everything I say. But you actually have some fight in you. It's a shame things had to go this way. We could have been great together. You're delusional, I said. I would rather die than let you touch me. That can be arranged, he said so nonchalantly that I didn't even register the risk. I'm kidding mostly. But you should know that I told Emma everything. He was still laughing, this infuriating, arrogant man. I swallowed my rage. Please, I said again, forcing a tremor into my voice. I know I don't deserve it, but I need closure. Just this one chance. And then I'll leave you both alone forever. If that's what you want. I just need to apologize properly, face to face, so I can start to heal. I heard Emma sigh. Let me talk to Ryan. I'll call you back, she said, hanging up. I gazed at my phone on the couch. 20 minutes later, she called. Okay, she said. Sunday dinner at Mom and Dad's house. 6 o'clock. But Megan, I swear to God, if you try anything or cause any drama, I will never speak to you again. This is your one chance. Don't waste it. I won't, I said. Thank you, Emma. Thank you so much. I love you. I love you too, she said. That's why this has been so hard. Sunday morning preparations took 2 hours. I applied makeup with care, aiming to look put together without looking like I'd tried too hard. 2 years ago, at a family dinner, Ryan had complimented my curls and how my hair flowed over my shoulders. I chose a top that I knew would draw his eye. Low cut but not too low. Fitted but not too tight. Just enough to make him look and wonder if I wore it for him. I arrived at my parents' house at 6 p.m. I couldn't read my mother's face as she opened the door. Megan, she said without a hint of a smile, I'm glad you decided to do the right thing. Me, too, Mom, I murmured. She parted to allow me in. Everyone was already seated in the dining room. My father seemed uncomfortable at the head of the table. Sophie sat between Emma and Ryan. The unoccupied chair opposite from them was plainly intended for me. The shame chair. This chair would be used by the accused to ask pardon. I sat and surveyed the table. Everyone seemed to be watching me. Ryan especially. I soon looked up and caught him staring at my top, at my chest, not my face. After a moment, he realized I was looking at him and quickly glanced at his plate. Good. I had sparked his curiosity. Dinner was odd. My mother talked about the weather. I addressed my father's job concerns in straightforward language. Emma hardly noticed me. Sophie kept inquiring why everyone was so silent. Throughout dinner, I apologized 3 times. I revealed my shame. My claim was to get professional help, and I understood if they never trusted me again. I kept an eye on Ryan throughout. When I gazed at him, he always returned my gaze. He stopped hiding it when my mother served dessert. While Emma told my father about Sophie's school, he glanced at me. He looked at my top, then my face. Each time I caught him, I held his gaze for longer than necessary. Not long enough for others to notice, but enough to make him wonder. I rose from my seat and requested, Emma, can I talk to you and Ryan privately for a minute? I want to apologize to both of you, properly, away from everyone else. Emma looked at Ryan, who was still staring at me. He slowly nodded. Fine, Emma said. Let's go to the living room. The 3 of us exited the table, and I stood in front of them. Ryan, I said, quietly approaching him, I'm so sorry for the way I behaved. I was confused and lonely, and I misread your kindness as something more. That was my mistake, my sickness. You've always been a good husband to my sister and a good father to Sophie, and I never should have put you in that position. I hope someday you can forgive me. Ryan looked at me closely. I could see him trying to figure out if this was real, if I had truly given up, if his strategy had worked as well as he had hoped. I appreciate that, Megan, he said. I know this wasn't easy for you to say, and I want you to know that I forgive you. I just want us all to move forward as a family. He put his arm around Emma. See, babe, I told you she would come around. She just needed some time to process everything. Emma nodded, wiping her eyes. Thank you, Megan, she responded. This means a lot to me. I've missed you so much. I hugged my sister and told her I missed her too. Over her shoulder, I noticed Ryan. He grinned. That arrogant smirk he had threatened me with at my apartment. His arrogant claim that he had won. I smiled when our eyes met again. Something changed in his face. He was perplexed, curious, and optimistic that I had finally come to my senses. He felt my grin was important. He felt my outfit was noteworthy. He thought I knew what I was missing when I turned him away from the kitchen that night. I'd let him think that until his death. Trap set. Ryan looked at me during dinner. I noticed his eyes constantly searching for reasons to dip to my chest. His smile drew my attention while Emma was not looking. He wanted me. Regardless, he wanted me. He questioned whether I wanted him back. Good. He should believe it. Allow him to get overconfident and stop thinking. Allow him to become so immersed in imagination that he forgets to protect himself. The following family lunch was 2 weeks away. I had 14 days to make Ryan desire me so badly that he'd say anything. I would ask him to say it to his wife. I texted him the next day. Nothing offensive that might hurt me. Simple family greetings that conveyed affection. Hey Ryan, do you have the recipe for that pasta Emma made last week? I want to try it. What time is Sophie's dance recital? I want to send her flowers. Thanks for being so understanding at dinner. It meant more than you know. He responded to every communication within minutes. His first answers were guarded. Sure, here's the recipe. Recital is Saturday at 3. Of course, family is everything. Midway through the first week, the tone shifted. One message had a smiley face, another wink. He began texting me, first at the end of the week. Been thinking about you today. Hope everything's going okay. You looked really nice on Sunday. Green is definitely your color. Emma's taking Sophie to her mom's this weekend. Going to be pretty lonely around here. I disregarded the messages. I kept them set to read and watched the little message that showed he was typing, not typing, then typing again. He was puzzled and wanted to know where we stood. Desperation was just what I needed. I dressed even more precisely for the second family dinner. The same technique applied. Low but not too low. Fitted but not too tight. I sat across from Ryan at the table, keeping his gaze when Emma turned away. Sometimes I grinned. I occasionally looked down at the table in embarrassment. Sometimes I bit my lip and saw his pupils dilate across the table. He was drowning, and the only thing I could do was throw him a rope. He did not realize the rope was anchored. My mother asked for help with the dishes after supper. I eagerly volunteered, and Ryan said, I'll help too, babe. You stay and relax. Emma was taken aback. That's sweet of you. Ryan and I entered the kitchen together, and he came to a halt because he was too near. I felt his heat behind me as I rinsed a plate. You've changed lately, he said quietly. What do you mean? I said, looking at the dishes. The way you've been texting me, the way you keep looking at me at dinner. He approached and grabbed my neck. The way you've been dressing. I switched off the water and gently wiped my hands. I turned around and leaned on the countertop. Ryan stood inches away, his eyes dark with need. I've been thinking about that night, I confessed. In the kitchen at Emma's party, he said. Yeah, I was scared, I said. I was so scared of how much I wanted to say yes. So, I pushed you away and tried to pretend I didn't feel anything. But I haven't been able to stop thinking about it, Ryan, about what could have happened, about what I missed. His fingers massaged my arm. I tried not to flinch. I knew it, he said. I knew you felt it, too. I caught his look through my eyelashes. I was hoping we could speak alone. Ryan moved his hand from my arm to my waist, where he had held me that night. When? Next Sunday, I announced. Same thing. You help with dishes. But this time I'll make sure we have more privacy. A wide smile, almost dreadful, spread across his face. You're serious right now? I'm serious, I explained. I can't stop thinking about you, Ryan. I haven't been able to since that night. I was just too scared to admit it. I heard footsteps and walked away as my mother entered the doorway. How are those dishes coming along? Almost done, Mom. I brightened. Ryan looked at me as if I had handed him the moon. 1 week. The final section of my strategy was due in 1 week. I only had to get her close enough to hear it without his noticing. I spent 3 days mentally touring Emma's house, memorizing every room, closet, and hiding place. The master bedroom walk-in closet with the slatted doors that led into the room sprang to mind. Emma could see and hear everything in the bedroom from the closet. The closet would seem dark and empty from the outside. I called Emma Wednesday. "Hey," I said, sounding sisterly. "I was wondering if I could come over early on Sunday before the family dinner. Help you set up and spend some time together. Just the two of us." "That would be really nice," she went on. "I've missed our sister time." "Me too. Oh, and hey, Ryan has been so sweet lately. He keeps texting to check in on me. Make sure I'm doing okay. You're really lucky to have him, Emma." I heard a beat of silence. The seed was planted. "He texts you." "Just supportive stuff. Nothing weird. He's just being a good brother-in-law. Making sure I'm handling everything okay." "Right," Emma said, but her voice changed. A modest hairline fracture. "Good. I wanted her to keep an eye on her marriage. I wanted her to pay closer attention to him than she had previously." I arrived at Emma's apartment 2 hours early on Sunday. No Ryan's car in the driveway. Emma informed me that he had taken Sophie to get ice cream before letting me in. Wanted to give us some girl time. During the first hour of cooking, I planted small seeds of mistrust. "Ryan seems stressed lately. Is everything okay with you guys? He's been texting me a lot. I hope you don't think that's weird. I feel like he's trying really hard to make things right between all of us. It's sweet, actually." Emma was supposed to ask why her husband was so worried about my well-being with each comment, to sow the smallest seed of doubt that would blossom when she discovered his genuine feelings for her. Emma said she'd take a short shower after we finished cooking. "Make yourself at home," she said. "Ryan should be back soon." This was my opportunity. Actually, I followed up. "Would you mind if I use the bathroom in your bedroom? The one down here is out of soap." "Sure, go ahead." I entered the master bedroom upstairs. The closet looked just as I remembered it. The door opened and I looked inside. Perfect. Room-wide visibility. Dark enough to be unnoticed from outside. I heard Ryan's car pull into the driveway. "Mommy, we got sprinkles," Sophie remarked. Emma walked down the stairs to welcome them. Ryan then said, "Where's Megan?" "Upstairs." Emma left the bedroom and headed downstairs. Ryan at the bottom looked at me, famished. As I approached him, he said, "Hey." Softly, "Hey." We went into the kitchen, and he entered my space when we were alone. "So tonight," he mumbled. "We're still on, right?" "Actually, I was thinking," I explained gently. "Maybe we shouldn't do it here. Too risky. What if someone walks in?" His expression indicated disappointment. Then after dinner, when everyone leaves. Tell Emma you're tired and want to go lie down. Then text me. I'll tell my parents I forgot something and come back. Ryan's eyes widened. "You want to come back here? To my house? To your bedroom?" "I want to do this right, Ryan. I want it to be perfect. It appears like he will faint." "Are you serious?" "I've been thinking about it for 2 weeks. I need to know what it would have been like if I hadn't pushed you away. I need to feel what I was missing." He grabbed my hand. "I'll text you the second she falls asleep." "Don't wait that long," I advised. "Just tell her you need to rest. I don't think I can wait." After the family arrived, supper was agony. Every minute seemed like an hour. My acting was wonderful. The remorseful sister, grateful for the welcome. The beautiful daughter, helping the mother. Sophie's nice aunt, playing with her in the living room. I examined the clock on the wall, counting down the minutes until I could murder Ryan, who stared at me with greedy eyes. After supper, and everyone had departed, I pulled Emma aside. "Hey, I think I left an earring in your bathroom earlier. Can I run up and check?" "Sure," Emma said. "Do you want help looking?" "No, it's fine. I know exactly where I was standing." I walked upstairs to her bedroom and checked the closet again. I texted Emma from my phone. "Actually, I can't find it. Can you come help me look? I think it might have rolled into your closet." She entered the doorway a minute later. "Where do you think it fell?" "Somewhere in the closet. I opened it looking for extra towels, and I think it slipped off when I bent down." Emma went into the closet and checked the floor. "I don't see anything." "Keep looking," I said. "It's a tiny silver hoop. Could be in the corner." Then I messaged Ryan, "Come upstairs bedroom now. Emma's in the shower. I can't wait anymore." His staircase steps were rapid. He entered the doorway breathing heavily and lit up as he saw me. "Where is she?" he mumbled, nodding towards the bathroom door. "Shower. We have a few minutes." He entered the room and shut the door. "I cannot believe this is finally happening," my husband said to me. "I've been thinking about you all day, all week. Ever since that night in the kitchen, I haven't been able to get you out of my head." "Tell me," I said, approaching him. "Tell me what you've been thinking about." My waist was once again in his hands. Same grip, possessive clasp. "I've been thinking about what would have happened if you hadn't pushed me away. If you had just let me kiss you. Let me show you what you were missing. What would have happened?" I asked. "I would have taken you right there in my wife's kitchen," he said desperately. "Emma has no idea what I'm capable of. She's so boring in bed, so predictable. But you, Megan, I could tell from the moment I met you that you were different, that you needed someone who could actually handle you." A gentle sound emanated from the closet. Emma, adjusting her weight, listening. "What else?" I asked. "Tell me everything." Ryan sketched me. "I wanted to push you up against that counter and show you what a real man feels like. And I wanted to hear you scream my name while my wife was in the next room blowing out her birthday candles. I wanted you to know that you were always the one I really wanted, not Emma. You. And when I said no, when I pushed you away..." The man said, "That made me furious. I spent weeks being nice to you, complimenting you, making you feel special, and you rejected me like I was nothing, like I was disgusting. So I decided if I couldn't have you, I would destroy you instead." "How?" I asked. "Tell me how you did it." Ryan gave a gentle laugh. "It was easy. I made up the texts on a fake messaging app. Made up the pictures, too. Spent a whole month telling Emma what a desperate whore you are, watching your entire family turn against you one by one." He grinned. "And the best part? You came crawling back anyway. You apologized. You begged for forgiveness. And now here you are in my bedroom, about to give me exactly what I wanted in the first place." "Say it again," I replied. "Say what you did. I want to hear it." "I made it all up," Ryan claimed. "Every single text, every single picture. You never sent me anything. I fabricated everything and watched your whole family hate you for it. Nobody believed you, Megan. Nobody will ever believe you because I'm the devoted husband, and you're just the crazy, jealous sister who couldn't handle rejection." The closet door burst open. Emma's expression as she gazed at her hubby in the doorway was unforgettable. Her face had lost all of its color. Her hands trembled. Tears flooded her eyes. When Ryan turned around, he saw his wife and became paper white. She was aware of every confession, every criticism of her dullness, and every detail of how he had gradually destroyed me in order to conceal his betrayal. He had nowhere to hide. "Emma," Ryan sputtered. "Babe, this isn't what it seems." I heard everything. Emma's voice trembled, making it difficult to talk. "I heard every single word you just said. You made it all up. The texts, the pictures. You made my family hate Megan because she wouldn't sleep with you." Ryan raised his hands. "Okay, wait. Just listen to me. Megan set this up. She tricked me into coming up here. She made me say those things. None of it was real. I was just telling her what she wanted to hear. Emma screamed, a wild, disbelieving laugh. I just heard you say it with your own mouth. You said you fabricated the texts. You said you made up the pictures. You said nobody would ever believe her over you. How exactly is that Megan tricking you? Ryan's expression cycled through fear, fury, despair, and then calculating. He tried to find an angle to twist this, but there was none. His own words doomed him. Emma, baby, I love you, he pleaded. Everything I did was to protect our family. Megan was a threat. She was trying to tear us apart. I was just defending what we have. By framing my sister, Emma said, tears streaming. By making my daughter call her aunt a whore in front of our entire family? By making me believe my own blood tried to assault my husband? Do you have any idea what I said to her? What I did to her? Our mother won't even look at her anymore, because of you. You destroyed her life, Ryan. You destroyed my relationship with my sister. All because your ego couldn't handle her telling you no. I did it for us. Ryan begged. Everything I did was for us. You did it because you're a coward, Emma said. She moved past him and joined me, grabbing my hand. You did it because the thought of a woman rejecting you was so unbearable that you had to turn yourself into the victim. And instead of dealing with that like a grown man, you decided to ruin an innocent person's life. Get out, she murmured. Emma, come on. Let's just talk about this. Let's go downstairs and work through this together. Get out of my house, she yelled. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to hear your voice. I don't want you anywhere near me or my daughter ever again. Ryan's desperation turned nasty. This is my house, too. You can't just kick me out. Emma dialed 911 on her phone. She said, My husband is refusing to leave and I feel unsafe. He's also been stalking and harassing my sister and I have evidence. Ryan's eyes opened wide. Emma, hang up the phone right now. You're being hysterical. Sir, Emma said, breathing steadily as tears flowed. If you're still here, I'll tell them about how you harassed my sister, grabbed her hard enough to leave marks, and faked evidence to harm her reputation. How you revealed everything, assuming no one was listening. My phone recorded it. Her phone's voice memo app was running while she taped from the closet. Ryan's confidence crumbled in real time. His shoulders sank, his face became gray, and he snatched his keys from the drawer, glaring at us with pure hatred. This isn't over, he commented. I promise that both of you will regret this. After rushing out of the bedroom, the front door slammed so hard that the house rocked. His car started and sped out of the driveway so rapidly that I heard the tires screech. Emma trembled as she looked in the direction her husband had gone. I'm so sorry that I believed him, she wailed, collapsing into my arms. I held her tight, just letting her cry. You didn't know, I murmured. He manipulated you. And in that moment, all the pain, the injustice, the betrayal, it was all worth it for this. For the truth.